Ah, there you are, my old friend. Come here. I gotta be honest. I thought my days of needing this were over. Ever since I've become a wrestler, I've loved WrestleMania season, and I always get so juiced and watch tons of WrestleMania matches, and just get juiced up for the big show. The past several years, I've been able to just do that on the network, find whatever I need. Peacock is terrible, and the WrestleManias on Peacocks are just, there's so many commercials, and it's just... So, I had to dig out my WrestleMania collection. I've got this full nice box, anthology. Oh, it's so pretty and shimmery. And whatever else I have. This goes through 21, and then I've got a bunch after that. I don't have any of the ones on that were on the network, but I mean, let's be honest, I'm probably not gonna go looking for any of those to get juiced up. And I guess I still do have the Peacock subscription. Also, for the record, I get a free Peacock subscription with my internet. I am not paying for that Peacock service because right now it's garbage. Hopefully they clean it up, and because I loved having the library that was the network, but just not good enough yet. So hopefully they'll clean it up, make it a little more manageable, get everything else carted over, and then maybe I'll spring for it with no commercials to make it, watchable. Danielle.
Hi.
Welcome back to the vlog. She's so happy. She's so happy to be on the vlog.
Always.
I'm making her watch a WrestleMania tonight. So we're watching WrestleMania 5. It was 10 years before she was born. You have any memories of 5?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen 5? Have you
Yes,
seen 5?
yeah.
You've seen 5.
Not in a long time. It's one that I've probably watched once and never watched again.
I mean, we're wrestlers, so we've all seen all of the manias. Right. But 5, you have no memories of 5.
Nope.
Do you even know any matches?
Nope.
You don't know any matches? You don't know?
Listen, my brain doesn't. I hold
5 is the Mega Powers explode.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
You don't know any, man.
They all mesh together at some point, right?
No, I
Yes.
remember every single one. I can at least go through every single WrestleMania and tell you the main event.
I'm sure you could.
At least. And I can probably go through most WrestleManias and give you a good idea of the card. I expect better from you, but by next year, I expect you to have studied up better. But I just wanted to I wanted to get, because we're gonna watch WrestleMania 5 and then we're gonna talk about it. So I just wanted to get your thoughts before WrestleMania 5. But apparently you have none. Yeah, what'd you think?
80s wrestling is ridiculous, but
80s wrestling is the best.
I never said that ridiculous was bad, but it's that ridiculous.
I like it, watching it now more than I used to. I wasn't a fan in the 80s. I didn't become a fan until honestly later into the 90s, like the Attitude Era stuff. And excuse me. So, I don't even have the nostalgia for 80s wrestling, but going back and watching it, it's the best.
It's so theatrical, and I appreciate that about it, is because I'd rather have over-the-top theatrics than no theatrics at all. Because that's what wrestling is. It's theatrical. Yeah. It's entertainment. Yeah. We're performers.
Yeah. You can put the WWE stuff is a little cartoony. I think that's the only thing. I'm okay when they pull back on the cartooniness of it versus when they, go all
Go all in.
go all in, versus the Red Rooster.
Oh God, the Red Rooster. Even had the. Oh God, he even had his hair spiked up red.
Even had his hair spiked up red. All right,
ridiculous.
we're gonna go through the whole card.
Oh boy.
Ready?
Oh boy.
Ready? Got to give your opinions on it. Everybody's dying to hear it. We opened with Rockin' Robin singing "America the Beautiful." Man, she was bad.
She was really bad. I'm not saying that as like a choir kid, but
you're a choir kid.
But I'm a choir kid, and was it Jesse Ventura that said, "Stick to your day job"?
Yes.
Because he was 110% right.
For sure.
Like, please.
She didn't even look like she wanted to do it. She looked so nervous and.
Oh, well, I guarantee
Poor
you
girl.
she just kind of wanted to wrestle. And they said, well, we're not going to have you on the card today, but you could sing this
No
song.
doubt.
She's like, well.
Which I don't know why. They let 77 other dudes on the card. Like, we couldn't have...
One woman's
We couldn't
match.
have Rockin' Robin and Sherry Martel? No.
No.
We gotta pick. We're gonna find the match they should have cut for Rockin' Robin and Sherry Martel.
Okay.
It was not King Haku versus Hercules. I was kind of surprised at that match. That match was actually, I felt like, really good.
It was better than a lot of the matches on the card. As the opener. Well, and I mean, I guess if you're going to have it as the opener match, that makes more sense, because it's the thing that draws people in.
It also threw me, like, I part of it was just not expected. I mean, Hercules and Haku, I've seen them wrestle a lot, and, they do a lot of punch and kick and stomp and body slam, and they were like doing high cross bodies, and Haku went like he jumped up on
They were
he
being
did like
kind of
a
spotty. It was interesting.
he jumped up on the second rope and like did a twisting cross body at one point. I was like, I didn't know Haku could do that.
It is WrestleMania.
So that match gets a thumbs up. We'll keep that match.
Okay. There's a lot of matches that we could throw out though.
Gene Okerlund interviewed the Rockers. Then we had the Rockers and the Twin Towers. That match was...
A match.
It was definitely a match. They had that big botch. We both laughed when they mistimed their double drop kick off the top, and Shawn Michaels just landed right on Boss Man's face.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And I mean, they mistimed that so bad.
Dude, did
you guys not even look at each other and try to figure it out? No.
No, and Boss Man was set up in the right. He was like dead center, and they just there was seconds difference. It's not like it was like a split second they were off. There was like seconds difference.
It was almost like they were both up there ready to go, and it was almost like Shawn just didn't just saw him. Oh, we're doing it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Shawn.
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
I always forget how much I love Ted DiBiase.
He's so good.
He is so good.
He's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Bruce Beefcake is not. But I was also surprised at this match. I thought this match was better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, and partially that's because Ted DiBiase was in it.
Well, I only say that because it's had Brutus in it. He was not a one who had good matches. Lord Alfred Hayes interviewed the Bushwhackers in that weird breakfast thing where the Bushwhackers didn't say anything.
Nothing. They just grunted. You just see this chick in the background just staring up like, what the hell is going on?
That was so...
I gotta imagine that's how everybody else was feeling.
Well, I know like the WWE did like back then, they weren't doing Access. So they would do weird things all weekend. One of the things they did was like the Breakfast with the Superstars. So I guess that was at that, but that was still super weird.
It didn't make any sense.
No.
It was just strange. It was a strange little spot to have there.
And then their match, Bushwhackers versus the Fabulous Rougeaus. That match was garbage.
Yeah, that might make the cut of...
We could definitely cut that one for Rockin' Robin and Sherry Martel.
Yeah, there's several that we could cut,
real.
but...
For real. But
that one can go.
They definitely, it's interesting because I think the Bushwhackers are one that a lot of people remember. I feel like the Bushwhackers get mentioned a lot by like the casual wrestling fan as somebody they remember.
But they're awful.
They are bad.
They're garbage.
They didn't do like so they just get remembered for like
for the dance,
you know,
the little dance thing that they do.
Yeah, and like licking each other, like so weird.
So strange.
So weird what wrestling fans grab onto. Then we have Mr. Perfect and the Blue Blazer. Mr. Perfect and Owen Hart. I was so disappointed in that match.
Yeah, it was not as good as I expected.
It was not good at all.
It just seemed like they were just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they had no purpose behind the match. It just seemed like they were having a training match where they were just trying new stuff out.
Yep, just move and move and move, and then Perfect flexes and it was over.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Poor Owen Hart. I'm sorry you got stuck with that Blue Blazer.
How bad was that mask?
It was so bad.
Mask was the worst. Then Jesse addressed the crowd. So they did so much stuff on this one that was just like
made no sense.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh, Jesse, what if Jesse addresses the crowd? What if we talk to the Bushwhackers eating breakfast? I don't know. This is super weird.
They're trying to find their WrestleMania thing.
Oh, because then they did the Fuji ran that 5K race.
Oh God! And he totally didn't run the 5K
he
race.
Totally didn't run.
I like how they filmed him going, and everybody's passing him.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, straight cut to, so you finished the race. He's not worn out. He's just like, yep, I did that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Well, and did Fuji not speak English? Was he just kayfabing that hard? Because he just kept going, superior shape. I told you, superior shape. Like, get out of here. Nah, I mean, I love Mr. Oh, then we had the Run DMC performance. Like, so they were just like, here's some stuff for a little while. We'll be back with wrestling in a minute.
And they didn't even
like any of this stuff could have been cut. I guess Run DMC is like, you know, WrestleMania is all about the mix of celebrity and wrestling, and Run DMC.
Their Super Bowl.
Man, and Run DMC was one of the hottest acts in the world at the time. Although their WrestleMania rap was terrible, I'm pretty sure
they just listed like regular powerbomb,
body
slam.
The only part of it I could make out, DMC was just going pile driving, body slam, and he
said WrestleMania a lot.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was awful.
Those
that
guys
was a waste
made their
of
money.
5 minutes.
Then it was time for the handicap match. Demolition versus the Powers of Pain with Mr. Fuji, which was definitely a match.
It was a match on WrestleMania. It made sense, I guess. It was a build. It was a storyline build, so it made sense to have that match there.
Right.
But it was.
I'm always a Demolition fan. I love Demolition. They're they're definitely in my top 5 favorite tag teams. But it just kind of showed that, I mean, they've had plenty of good matches, but this was not, it wasn't bad. It was just a match.
It was there.
Powers of Pain are pretty rough to work with. You know, you can only do so much, like those matches where it's like, you know, because Demolition were like the Wrecking Machine, you know, and they didn't sell a whole lot and they just pounded guys, and Powers of Pain were the exact same way, and so you always kind of want to be like, oh man, what happens if these two wrecking balls collide? But like,
and
it's
it never
never
works out well.
It rarely works out.
No,
because then just nobody's doing anything. Like, I'm not gonna sell and you're not gonna sell. We're just gonna punch each other.
So this is gonna happen. And
but they did, and then
how do we get to the finish?
And then fine, I get it, but they Demolition took such good care of Fuji when they dropped him with his finish.
Oh yeah,
it made it look weak. You know, it wasn't like, oh, all of a sudden they crushed Fuji. It was like, oh, they've got him for the finish. Oh, look, they just laid the old man down. All due respect.
And to be fair, I'm sure Mr. Fuji would have been completely fine taking that bump. I'm sure he
took like 2 or 3. He was the only one in the match bumping.
Yeah.
He took like 2 or 3 clean bumps in that match. Yeah.
I was so worried about protecting him. I'm sure he wouldn't have cared if they just.
Then we had that interview that we were laughing about, where Shivani tried to get the interview with Randy Savage, Randy Savage, he gets all mad. He comes out, he's like, I told you no interviews. And he shoves down the cameraman, and then he just goes running around the hallway.
And he straight up actually shoved that cameraman down to his ass.
Oh, for sure.
No questions about it. That cameraman ate it.
There was no work there.
No.
That was a shoot.
He fell straight down.
Then Dino Bravo versus Rugged Ronnie Garvin. That one definitely, like, that wasn't a bad match, but that was a nothing match. That one definitely could have been cut for Rockin' Robin and Sherry Martel.
Definitely could have been cut.
And we also,
it's just a match.
You know, I mentioned there too, like, that was where I never understood why Ronnie Garvin was like a thing. I mean, all due respect to Ronnie Garvin,
But it wasn't that good.
I've never seen, I've never seen a great Rugged Ronnie Garvin match. I've never seen a great Rugged Ronnie Garvin promo. Like, I don't get it.
He had a big build. That's all that mattered back
then. And I'm probably not seeing the stuff. I'm sure there's great matches out there, whatever, but I ain't never seen them. Brainbusters versus Strike Force. That was it's great watching Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard go do their thing, but that was the match where Strike Force broke up, so it wasn't even really, it was like a tag match for a hot second, and then it became a handicap match. And
and like in a weird point it became a handicap match. Like, you would think there would be some type of like huge build up to that, and he just straight up, okay, bye guys.
Yeah, deuces, I'm out. But we're used to now how it would be like that would be the story of the match, and they'd build it up, and it'd be the big finish. You know what I mean? And they just kind of did it in the middle. Rick Martel
barely in the middle.
Rick Martel got a forearm and got mad and left, and then the Brainbuster just beat Tito Santana up for like another 5 minutes. There's so many matches on this.
So many.
Then there's the Piper's Pit with Brother Love and Morton Downey Jr. that went on and
that could have been cut.
And on.
In fact, they did cut it. Like
they cut on the copy we were watching.
Yeah, they cut it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I wonder how much they cut out.
Yeah, because for a second, dude was in there and then he was gone.
And I would say they could have just cut part of this to make room for Sherry and Rockin' Robin, but you can't cut Piper like cut Piper.
No.
You know, I mean, not that you can't cut Piper, but like if you tell Piper, all right, take it home, and he doesn't feel like taking it home yet, he's not going to take it home.
And I was so hoping that guy was going to.
You cannot.
I was so hoping that guy was going to let him go. Let him go. Yes.
It'd be a whole different wrestling history if Roddy Piper beat the shit out of Morton Downey Jr.
I hope. I wished.
Then we got the sneak preview of No Holds Barred. Guys, she's never seen No Holds Barred.
Nope.
I'm gonna make her watch it on the vlog.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna do one of these.
Oh boy. It's an 80s flick, so it's gonna be
great. Oh, you have no idea. Calling that an 80s flick.
The previews are enough. We did watch the Ghoulies, and that was all 80s.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Ghoulies. So this was the point, though, too, where we lost track of who had been out and who we still had, because they come back. They come back from that.
There's so much.
Yeah, they come back from that. And we were like, we got to be almost done. And we were like, and then Big John.
We're not almost done.
No, because Big John Studd came down to special referee, and we were both. I was like, what match is this? I started thinking, and I was like, oh, I think this is Andre and Jake. But then I started remembering, like,
then where's Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, we haven't seen Ultimate Warrior and, Honky Tonk Man. Like, is this the one where he beats Honky Tonk Man for the title? I thought that was but, like, we completely lost track. But it was Jake Roberts and Andre. That match was...
Two huge attractions.
Man, that match did not need to be that long.
No.
Like, considering the only thing that match did was really...
They were just leading to him taking the snake out.
Right, you know, and to see Andre in there lumbering around, he could barely take a step away from the ropes because he needed to hold on to the ropes the whole time.
Yeah.
And
it was a match. It was rough. And it did not need to be that long.
Yeah, all due respect to Andre. Like,
but
great,
that was like
great to him. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, great for him to get out there and do it. Good to see Andre, but do we really need to No. You know,
just for the build up to the snake.
Right. If it had been 5 minutes of Andre standing around and just let's get the snake out there. Let's get this over with. It'd have been
it would have been just enough.
Yeah. So then we had Tony Schiavone interview Sensational Sherry. So at least she was on the show, I guess.
Yeah, and see, the thing is he interviewed her, and I was like, I don't remember there being a women's match. Is there supposed to be a woman? It feels like they're building up to it, and then it never happened.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Makes
Cut
no
for
sense.
time.
Why even bother?
Then we had Greg the Hammer Valentine and Honky Tonk Man versus the Hart Foundation. The match was fine. It was another one. It was a nothing match, though. You know, like, I feel like that one. I don't want to say that. Like, Honky Tonk Man, Greg Valentine, Bret Hart. Like, I don't want to say any of those guys could be cut from a WrestleMania, except this match meant nothing. You know, if we could have got Sherry Martel and Rockin' Robin for the women's title, I feel like that would have
meant more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, like, Bret Hart's always going to be entertaining. All of those guys are always going to be entertaining to watch, but it's not like it was for anything.
Right.
Or there's a storyline behind it.
Then Ravishing Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior. I actually really liked that match. And not just because of the moment, which we'll talk about. No, I think Rick Rude, you know, like they had this Intercontinental feud, and then after WrestleMania 6, when Ultimate Warrior won the main title, they feuded over the main title. I feel like Rick Rude was the only guy who ever really figured out how to work the Ultimate Warrior. You know, I feel like they always...
Well, Ultimate Warrior has a certain style in his wrestling, and you have to know how to work that style. Otherwise, it's going to be a bad match. And I think Rick Rude definitely harnessed that ability to work that kind of style.
Yeah. But but I think it's more than that. You're absolutely right. But nobody else ever seemed to figure out how to work the Warrior style either. Like Warrior only had...
Well, kinda did. They had a decent...
They had a good match.
Yeah.
But you know, the legend is they rehearsed that match for like 6 months.
Oh boy.
Have you never heard that?
No.
Oh gosh, you're so young. That's the legend. Supposedly they set up a ring, and Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior spent 6 months with Pat Patterson.
Oh, I have heard about that.
Match.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that match is a good Ultimate Warrior match. You know, Randy Savage had a couple matches with him that weren't awful, but they just didn't. They also weren't good. I felt like Rick Rude had good matches with Ultimate Warrior.
They also had a really good chemistry.
Yes,
and that's important in every match.
Absolutely. I just think Rick Rude was the only one that ever found that with Warrior. And there was the moment where they fell, and I laughed for 5 minutes. Warrior was trying to pick him up, and he starts stumbling forward, and they just both eat shit into the corner. So it's the greatest thing ever. Oh man. Then we have Bad News Brown and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
That match could have been cut easily.
The main event.
Finally.
That show. Well, we hit that point at Jake Roberts and Andre.
Yeah, where
and we just then we felt like that show should have been over, and then the show just kept going. It kept going. It kept going. Which I like. Like, I like that feeling. I like that feeling of oh, what's next? Who's coming? You know, even though I feel like I have a good grasp on what any of these cards are. You know. Like, I like when I lose track and there's more matches. I always feel like that's a fun part. You know, on our indie shows, like, people always want to announce every match, and I think half the fun of a lot of wrestling shows is just like not necessarily knowing what's coming next. You know, I mean, you want to know like a few, like a main event and a couple big matches, but I like when a guy. I like the surprise of like, what's this gonna be? Who is it? Oh, is this match good or bad, or you know, what is it? I enjoy that. So I kind of enjoyed like, oh, this match, this show kept going. But the main event, the Mega Powers exploded. How'd you feel about the Mega Powers exploding?
It's definitely the main event for a reason.
It's for sure. It's for sure.
It was definitely the only match that you could tell WrestleMania just like it. I can tell throughout, especially in the older WrestleManias, that there is one storyline that they just latch onto. Mm-hmm. And granted, that's with about every WrestleMania, is that they kind of have their one big storyline, but now that there's like two separate brands and all this stuff, they have like two big storylines.
I mean, I would say that that's kind of the point of a main event, but I mean, you're also not wrong. But
they latched onto that the entire time.
For sure.
And you could definitely tell that this was the main event match.
Yeah.
They had all the spots. They had all of the... They went all out for this match.
Yeah, they wrestled, they fought outside the ring. Yeah. Savage had that big cape on, which, I mean, he always had that cape, but that cape was something else, man.
It was bedazzled. It was shiny. It was a WrestleMania cape.
It was very shimmery. Savage is so good. He's just everything. Mm-hmm. Man, he's got that charisma. He's got, you know, I don't know how to say like he is as good as anybody. You know what I mean? Everybody knows he's better than Hogan. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know how he never surpassed Hogan, except that Hogan was already Hogan by then.
Yeah.
You know, like
that would be the only. He was already Hollywood Hulk Hogan,
right?
And WWE was going to ride his coattails for as long as possible, and that's the only reason why Randy didn't pass him.
Yeah, and it's not like he did. I mean, it's not like he didn't have a good enough career or anything. You know?
Right. He's Macho Man. Everybody knows Macho Man.
Right. You know.
Even every casual fan knows Macho Man.
For sure, he's one that became like a household name. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Right along with Hulk Hogan, Miss Elizabeth. Well deserved. But that'd be the only reason why he never surpassed Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
It's because he was already Hollywood Hulk Hogan by then.
Yeah. And this match had everything. This was a main event.
Yeah.
You know, there are certain things. Main event. Yeah, there are certain things that make a match a main event, and this had all of them. Mm-hmm. If I had one complaint about the match, it always makes me mad that the setup for the big macho elbow at the end is just that he just grabs Hogan and just blatantly chokes him until Hogan falls down.
Yeah, until Hogan's just like, okay, I go to bed now.
Yeah, and the ref is like, just lets it.
Okay.
Yeah, the ref just lets it happen.
And it was right after they did that cool spot where Macho Man snuck the tape around his neck. Yeah. And you're just gonna choke him anyway with your hands? Right. Ref's not gonna do anything?
Yeah.
What was the difference?
Yeah, he didn't get caught with the tape. They turned to the ref and kept it hidden, and then he very sneakily threw it off to the side, and they just looked at Hogan, and they just grabbed him and choked him anyway.
And the ref's just like, okay, cool. That sounds good. I don't even think the ref counted.
He counted at the, like, he started counting when Hogan fell down. He started counting, yes. And then Macho let go, and then went up and dropped the elbow. Big Hulk up, punches, leg drop. That was it. Mm-hmm. And then Hulk must posed. Posed? Mm-hmm. Hulk must pose.
And like you can tell, there was one falsie in this match, and I think I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I super appreciate that actually, because like every other main event that you see in WrestleMania now, there's at least 3 falsies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Falsie fest, all of them.
Falsie fest, and you can tell.
And that's so many matches though. It's not even just the main events of like every match at WrestleMania has at least 3 falsies. Mm-hmm. False finishes.
Per match. So per match. every other match I would say has at least 3 falsies. Yeah. Including the main event. And this one had 1, and that was in the main event.
Yeah. And even then only kinda.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like,
It was just,
like that.
it was the elbow. And, like,
Yeah, like
everybody
that.
kind of knew that Hulk was going to pick out of the elbows.
Exactly.
It's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that falsie is almost just more part of the Hulk up.
Yeah, yeah.
Than it is an actual false finish.
Yeah.
But they, you know, we just build to that cathartic emotional release, and you know, like I think that's better personally, than a bunch of falsies.
It is. I agree. Can we also talk about how they whip people off the ropes? It's awful.
She got super frustrated. It wasn't everybody. There's just a handful of guys that did the
It was
Irish.
enough for me to notice, at least every other match, that they were whipping them off with both hands.
They just do the Irish whip differently than
Why?
we teach.
It drives me bananas.
She was so mad about it. She kept correcting Jesse Ventura's grammar.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, what about how, you know what we didn't talk about, after they showed the preview for No Holds Barred, Jesse Ventura got all mad for no reason. Like,
Yes.
he cut this huge promo on Hulk Hogan, like they were gonna have a match, a Hollywood match,
yeah.
and then he like stormed off, and then he came back, and Gorilla was giving him a hard time.
That was a great commentary
It
team.
was like ridiculous. Oh, that's my favorite commentary
Yeah.
team
It was a great
by
commentary
like
team.
by a wide margin. And then King and JR. All right, what was your favorite part?
Favorite part?
Favorite part, favorite match, favorite moment, whatever, something. Favorite thing.
I'm trying to remember exactly. So probably my favorite. Whenever the guy tripped in the entrance, who was that? That's my favorite moment.
Who was that tripped? Couple people.
You can see.
Mr. Perfect tripped. Oh,
It was Mr. Perfect.
Well, Mr. Perfect tripped. You started noticing it when the Bushwhackers were coming down. 'Cause Butch tripped. He tripped twice. He tripped at the bottom of because it's the big long Atlantic City entryway. And so, like, you come down the stairs, and then there's a long ramp, but then there's one step down onto the ring level. And most people, but Luke was coming down, Luke and Butch, and they come down, and Butch trips at the bottom of the first stairs. He doesn't fall, he just stumbles.
He just kind of stumbles.
And
It's
then-
barely noticeable.
And then he did it again at that second one. And then Mr. Perfect did it coming down. Like, he's doing his cool Mr. Perfect strut, and he just completely, never...
It's definitely my favorite
Good
moment.
stuff.
It's definitely my favorite moment. It's awful. That's my
My favorite moment was by far when
You.
when the Ultimate Warrior and fell over with Rick Rude in his
And we
arms.
both ate shit.
What does it say about us that both of our favorite moments are just
Mess ups?
yeah, dudes looking dumb.
I don't think we need to say that.